Now we've seen one example already in pictures. I'm going to do one more in pictures for you before you get to try one on your own. Okay, so this time we're going to have a divisor of 3, and our dividend is going to be 318. Okay, and at first glance this looks pretty easy, and it's not too challenging, but there's a little hiccup in here, so I wanted to show you in pictures how this one works. Okay, so again, what do we have to do? We start the same ways we did with the base 10 as we did with the pictures before. We want to look at our divisor so we know how many groups there are, and then we want to look at our dividends so we know what number we're creating in pictures altogether. Okay, so first of all, I'm going to set up my 3 groups over here off to the side, and I'm using circles. Like I said, you can use whatever you like. I'm just putting my circles here off to the side. They're not great circles, but gives me a space to divide my things evenly. And now I want to create my number, my dividend. And as before, I'm using pictures that look like your base 10. Okay, so here we go. Let's start with the hundreds. So we need 3 hundredths. So again, I'm using just large squares for the hundredths to represent the flats. You can use something else if you like, as long as you have a legend to let us know what it is that they represent. Next, I'm going to look and do the tens. I have 1 10, so I'm just going to put the 1 10 stick there. And when I look at the ones, I have 8 ones. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There we go. There's my number, 318. Now, the hundredths work out really well for dividing into 3 equal groups because we have 3 of them. So that's pretty easy. So over here, 1, 2, and 3. So we can cross those off. Those are used. Now here's where we run into the hiccup. We have 1 10 stick that we have to try and divide into each of those 3 groups. That's not going to work, is it? Nope. So what do we have to do to that 10 stick? Yep, you're right. We have to break it up into some ones so we can use it. So we know that 1 10 stick will give us 10 ones. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There we go. So now how many ones do I have altogether to work with? 5, 10, and 8 is 18. So I have 18 ones that I need to now divide equally into these 3 groups. Now, using our multiplication tables, we're going to look at our 3 times tables and think, what can I multiply by 3 to get me as close to 18 as possible without going over? Well, I know my 3 times tables, and so do you. So you should know that 3 times 6 gives us 18 right on the money. So that means that I'm going to put 6 of those ones into each of those 3 groups. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There we go. That's used up all of our ones. Okay? They're all gone. There's none left. So now we want to check and make sure that we've actually made 318 so that we know that our answer is correct. So let's go back and look. So we've got 100, 200, 300, 306, 312, 318. Perfect. We know that we're right that way. We could also do some multiplication, and once we get our quotient up there, we'll be able to see what we're going to use in order to do that multiplication. So remember, our quotient is an answer to a division problem, and what we find in one of those groups is the answer. So what do we have? We have 1 in the hundredths place, and we have 6 in the ones place. What's missing? That's right. We have nothing in the tens place. We have no tens in there. We have to show that. So we have to put a 0 in there, okay? We have to represent that there are no tens there with a 0. So don't forget to put that 0 in there, okay? So our answer is 106. And if we want to use multiplication to figure out if we have the right answer, we can put down our quotient, which is 106, and multiply that by our divisor, which was 3. If we get the dividend, we know we have the right answer. 3 times 6 is 18. We're going to put our 8 down, carry our 1. We know 3 times 0 is 0, plus 1 is 1, and 3 times 1 is 3. And that gives us our answer of 318, and that matches that. So we know we've done a great job. We added it up, we double-checked it, and we did a perfect job.